Hi everyone, in this video I will teach you what is the meaning of significant figures. So in the previous movie, when we need to take an approximations, we need to look for the place value. But sometimes we will look for the significance figures. So what does it mean by significance figures? In this number, the number 4 is the first significance figure. 8 is the second one, 1 is the third one, 2 is the fourth one, and 7 is the last one, the fifth significance figure. And that's why in this number there are 5 significance figures. And we will call the first one as the most important significance figures, since the value of this one is the greatest, which is the most important one. It seems that it is easy to count the significance figures. However, we should be very careful about the zero. If there are some zero in the number, sometimes it will treat it as significance figure. Sometimes zeros are non-significant. There are 3 cases we have to consider. For the first one is 0 between non-zero digits. So here is one example, 3015. So this 0, if we take it away, you will change the value to becomes 315. So that's why this 0 is very important. We will count it as significance. So therefore, there are 4 significance figures. So similar case in this number, this 0, if we take it away, you will change the value of it. So that's why these zeros are significance. There are 3 significance figures. So remember that 0 between all non-zero digits are significant. How about some 0 putting at the beginning digits? So here we have 652. If we put some 0 at the very beginning, actually these 0 don't change the value of this number. Although I put down 2 0 at the very beginning, it's still 652. That's why these 0 are meaningless. We won't count it as significant. Therefore, there are only 3 significance figures. So similar cases in the decimal value. So all 0 at the beginnings are non-significant. So that's why we only have 2 significance figures, which are 3 and 4. Remember that 0 at the beginning digits are non-significant. How about some 0 at the last digits? It depends on decimal points. So here we have one example, 26.00. So in primary school, we won't write in this way. But why we have this number? Because we want to show the accuracy up to 2 decimal points. So since there are decimal points, we will treat these zeros as important. There are total 4 significance figures. Again, in this example, so in primary school we won't write in this way. But this time, this decimal point represents the accuracy of this number. So that's why we will treat the zeros as important. So there are 3 significance figures. If we take away the decimal points, we just treat the first one as the significance figures, and the last 0 are non-significant. That's why we only have 2 significance figures. Let's do some more example to get familiar with it. Question A asks us to round off this 93.172 to one significance figures. One significance figure is 9. Now we need to round off this number. So the number next to 9 is 3, which is less than 4. That's why we should not increase the value of it by 1. The answer of it is only 90. So remember that please don't write down any decimal points here. If you write down the decimal points here, this 0 will count as significance figures, and that's why this answer is not correct. Corresponding to the question asks us to keep one significance figures only. That's why no need to write down the decimal points. 9 is the only significance figures in this answer. Question B, we need to round down this number to two significance figures. So 0 at the beginnings are non-significance. So that's why the two significance figures are 3 and 2. So the number after 2 is 8, which is a big number, but the question asks us to round down, which means don't increase the value of it. So that's why the answer is 0.32. Lastly, we need to round up this 650.92 to four significance figures. The four significance figures are 6, 5, 0, and 9. Now, the number next to 9 is 2. Although this number is small, the question asks us to round up, which means we need to increase the value by 1. So after the increment, the answer is 651.0. So remember that you should write down 0.0 in this case in order to keep four significance figures. That's the end of this video. Bye bye.